Can you build a clean, responsive website in under an hour? Today, I'm showing you how I do it using VO.dev by Vercel. No complicated setup, no coding required, just straight to the point. To start, I'm getting my template that I created earlier for the base of my website. If you want me to go more in depth of how I created this template, let me know in the comments and I'll do that in another video. But for now, we're gonna start the chat. Now it's already read my template, and as you can see, it's uploading what the website looks like. And I'm going to rename the chat just so I can keep tabs on what I'm working on. So the example business that I'm gonna base this website off of is my own, which is Simple Done Right. Right now I'm looking into my files to get my logo, where I'm gonna upload that with a couple things in order to change the website into more of what my business is. So as you can see, I said the image I gave you is the logo, use that as a theme. The name of the business is Simple Done Right. The number is, then I gave it the telephone number, and the location for map is Miami, Florida. I gave it general. And then the services are email marketing, copywriting, content photography, content creation, SEO, website design, and YouTube design and creation. And what that's doing is it's getting all that and it's coding it for me. It does take a couple minutes, so just be patient while it's reading what you wrote and trying to code it. For the sake of the video, I am going to fast forward a little bit just so we're not waiting here for like 5-6 minutes. So now that it's completed its coding, we get to see the website that it created. So I'm just taking a look around, seeing what works, what doesn't, and if there's anything missing. Sometimes they add pictures and sometimes they don't. In this case, they didn't add any of the pictures. So I'm gonna have to go back in and ask to add pictures. But right now I'm just looking around, seeing what else is missing. They did add the map, and they added a lot of wording, and they added the phone number and everything else that I had told it to add. There's a contact page, and we see that there's also a service page, but the images are missing for that as well. So now I'm just going in and asking it to add pictures wherever it's needed. So it's looking up on the internet the pictures that correspond to like content photography, content creation, SEO, and it's gonna add all that to the website. Again, it is gonna take a couple minutes for everything to load, and again I'm gonna skip a couple minutes just so that this goes by a little faster. So now we get to see what it has added, what kind of pictures. I really like the pictures. I think that they actually go well with the wording and what I'm trying to accomplish in this website. And I think if you didn't like your pictures, you could just say, oh, could you change it to more of these types of pictures? Or you could look online for your own pictures that you like and then just upload them there, like I did with my logo. Another thing is that this second time that I've tried to do this, it actually already created me a portfolio. It hadn't done that the first time, and so I think that's really cool. And that's something you can add. If it doesn't do it for you the first time, you could just say, oh, can you add a section for a portfolio? And make sure to include all the work you've done and descriptions of the projects you've worked on, as well as pictures, or just tell it to upload some pictures for you. So I'm going through the whole website again just to make sure everything's to my liking and the wording makes sense, as well as everything's in the right place and all the buttons work. So far, I really love the website, and I'm so happy that they added the prices to my services page, as well as they even added the time, like the days or months it takes to work on these projects, so that when clients come in, they can have an understanding of the timeline and how much everything will cost. Here I noticed that you can't really read the Our Services header, and so I'm trying to take a look if there's any other headers or anything else that you can't see, so I can change that. All the headers look good except for this one, so I'm going to change that. and I'm gonna say update our services page by changing the header, our services, to white. You have to be specific because sometimes it might not understand what you're saying, and it might change, for example, the simple done right header, those words, instead of what I actually need, which is our services. Before I click enter and send in my update, I'm going to take a look back at the About Us page. For the About Us section, I didn't really like how they worded everything, and there was, meet our team with all these different people's pictures on it, which I didn't like since I don't need that. So I asked it to take out that section of meet our team in the pictures, and then I asked it to change some of the paragraphs in that About Us section because I didn't really like how they had worded it, and I wanted to make it more simple for people. Now, if you're wondering, what if I make a change and I hate it, or the computer didn't understand what I was saying and I have to redo it? Then that's possible. All you have to do is go back to the change you had done before and hit the word restore next to it. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So as an example, I want to change the words simple done right from the header and change that into white instead of black. So I'm going to say change the header simple done right to white. I did mess up there and I want you guys to see it. Because I wasn't specific, again, about the header and simple done right since it's everywhere, they didn't change what I needed it to change, and we'll see that. Here, as you can see, it's still black, and I was trying to change it to white. So I'm going to go back and edit it by clicking on the button with the pen logo, and I'm going to be more specific by saying next to the logo. So I changed it by saying change the header next to the logo, simple done right, to white. As you can see, it worked. Simple done right is changed to white, and now you can't see it. Now that I've made that change, I realized that it was an obvious mistake, and so I'm gonna go to the change before that, and I'm gonna click on the button restore. So every change you make is like a checkpoint, and every checkpoint is saved. So if you decide that you didn't like the change you made, you just go to the checkpoint before that and then restore it, and it will reset everything to what was saved in that checkpoint. I realized that I forgot to add my email and the link to Instagram, and so I'm doing that now by just saying, can you add this email and can you link this to my Instagram? Now I'm going to take a look just to check that everything was changed. And as you can see, they did change my email, and I know that it is linked to my Instagram. I'm going to go down to the footer because I haven't taken a real good look at that, and I will realize that when I click on the links, they don't go anywhere. I'm going to keep checking all the links just to make sure that all of them aren't working. Because none of them are working, I'm gonna go back to the chat box and ask it to make sure that the quick links in the footer are all linked to sections. As you can see, its response says that each section is now linked, updated all service links, added a home link, and now, added IDs to tab triggers. And so I'm gonna go check to make sure that all the links are working, and it seems like they are. Content photography is linked to content photography at the top. And home is linked to home. About Us is linked to the About Us. Now I'm going to fast forward, going through the website and making sure everything looks right before I deploy it. Once you feel that your website is ready, you go and hit the deploy button, which essentially creates it and makes it into a real website and gives it a link. You also have the option to customize your domain, which I did, and I wrote Digital Marketing Solutions just to make it simple. And here's the finished product. It's simple, clean, efficient, organized, and it works. And that's how you create a fully functional website in under an hour with VO.dev by Vercel. If you found this helpful, drop a like, subscribe for more builds, and let me know what you want to see next. On the off chance that you have a business that needs a website like this, comment below or shoot me a message. I might just build it next.